What I always admire about Meghan Markle, you might be shocked by this, is she always gets somebody else to do the donkey work. Do you know what I mean? It's always Harry that has to ring people, whether it be, she's trying to get something for the LA fires or whatever. I got on the phone. No, you used your title and you got Harry to get those people like Billie Eilish or whatever to give you the product, right? Because nobody really, they're not bothered about a former cable TV actress. And this is the problem. You see, as I said, Meghan would have to include Prince Harry in that very final promo for Netflix with Love as Ever, Meghan, whatever it's called, right? And that was the insistence of Netflix, the streaming giant. They basically said, we need him in. Who are you? And you're a failing brand. I mean, they wouldn't use these words, but very tactfully, get something of interest in. So once again, she roped in Harry. He had to give her a kiss on camera because, of course, he has to be subservient, but he looked like he was enjoying that bowl of gruel far more, if you know what I mean. And interestingly enough now, and this is where you have to laugh at the way that this brand is going, it's been so badly executed on so many levels, chums. Well, let me explain. Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and welcome one and all brand new subscribers. Always lovely to welcome new people to our wonderful community, our friendship group. Do say hello to each other. Don't be shy, be respectful. And if anybody looks like they need a bit of a conversation and they may be struggling and saying, don't be shy to put in the comments, is anybody around here? Do you fancy saying hello? Something. It's about chatting to people, right? It's about feeling connected. I feel connected, as you can imagine, on a cold day like this to a bowl of porridge. You do, don't you? And another thing that you can't help but wonderfully get connected to is the feeling of Christmas, which is now, of course, very, very close, just over a month away. So, very cleverly, some people might say, oh yes. It's interesting because this is a first for the British monarchy. They've decided to open a Buckingham Palace Christmas shop. This is in the Royal Mews. It's just at the back, actually, of Buckingham Palace, and it's a great area. Not only that, I mean, it's worth going in because it's a great way of actually just getting in the courtyard and having a snifty around. But there's also a courtyard cafe. A little bit chilly on a day like today, but nonetheless, you go in, wonderful sort of stuff. If you like your trinkets with Buckingham Palace on, you've got the jams, you've got the plates, you've got the Christmas decks. I particularly like the little crowns that you can put. I know I'm easily pleased, aren't I? But the little crowns that you can put on your Christmas tree, they do look elegant, not cheap, but then, it's a special place, isn't it? Open right from now, should I say, through to the 5th of January of 2026. So you've got plenty of time, even if you're coming to London over the Christmas period. Here's where this is interesting, though, because this is the ridiculousness of this. And this is from an excellent source. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how good this sauce is. But the thing, what I just find incredible is, as we know, Meghan Markle schlepping around with her own jams and whatever, buy frozen pancakes. I mean, who says that on a cookery show? Could you imagine Mary Berry saying that? So, just buy frozen. No, you're supposed to be teaching us to cook. Well, as you know, Meghan's only been able to insert her own brand inside her friend's bookstore. The one with the private jets and everything like that. That's paving the way for Meghan to live a lifestyle that Harry clearly now can't provide. You get the picture, whatever people say. I would feel slightly embarrassed, but these people who want to hook on to anybody very rarely suffer from that type of stuff. Here's where it's interesting, because as I say, she's got it now in the bookstore, but Netflix said, no, we're not interested. They're not going to. I know for a fact that this will just be phased right down in the new year. They will basically say, once you've got the stock levels together, we might re-look at it. It will be put in the phase of phraseology, really, chums, of, the way with the deal. We'll have a first look, but, and once they've had a look, they'll say bye-bye. According to that source, this is just incredible. Meghan Markle's team, and they're a dwindling team, right, because there's another one about to be departing, have been told and have done, contacted Buckingham Palace shop to see if they would be interested in stocking some of Markle's stock, right? Yes, I mean, right, so this is a woman who struggled with royal life only scratched the surface of the thing. But apparently, because she's still a duchess, she believes that having this sort of product inside somewhere as prestigious as the Buckingham Palace Christmas shop, which in many respects is not a bad idea, and in a normal life, in the way that she hadn't trashed the family and done all of those sort of stuff, well, consequently, they might have thought, okay, let's give this a go, might work, etc. But no. Now, from this source, and this is, as I say, a brilliant source, the thing is that apparently, they sort of were very polite and said, oh, it's certainly an interesting offer, let me discuss it and we'll get back to you. Apparently the team are very impatient, we'll just leave it there, right? And now, I have to be honest, there's 2 points here that the clarity is very hard to pin down. Did they suggest it? Did Meghan and Harry suggest it? Who came up with it? Because obviously they're now floundering. This new team are floundering on how to market and promote somebody like Markle. You get the picture. But behind the scenes, the idea was, of course, that people would go in, and can you imagine how embarrassing this would be if the stock didn't sell? And this is where they're not very bright, and the stock doesn't sell in the Buckingham Palace shop, and suddenly they can say, well, it didn't really work, sorry, could you take the stock back or shall we reduce it? As ever, never really thought through. And at the moment, I can say that the Buckingham Palace Christmas shop is a Markle-free zone. Absolutely. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.